June the 18th, 2026. Guys, you're looking at the National Weather Service map, and we've got quite a few things to talk about here. I'm not going to make it long, but first of all, we got tornado watches in the yellow areas here and here. We got a tornado warning, guys. This is south central New York, northeastern Pennsylvania area. Right there, we have one right here in Mississippi. This is north of Mobile, northwest of Mobile Bay. We had one earlier coming across the river here between, I'd say between Baton Rouge and Natchez. That tornado warning has died out. We're going to look at it, guys. We are in central Mississippi. We just got a break in the rain. Overnight, it was torrential downfalls. A mile from our house, we're over 300 foot elevation, but a mile from us, you get down into lower elevations around the creeks and people that have built houses in that area and mobile homes and things like that. And there's about 4 foot of water coming through there now. They are barely keeping it out, but we got another big storm right behind this one. So it's not looking good on that front. I'm running on solar power now. Most people in this area, as far as the rural sections of this county and a couple of other counties, are without power. So again, you're coming, because we're doing the video because we have some solar power that's important. Now, you got flash flood warnings, watches, and flood watches. In other words, you had a flash flood watch, then the warnings, now flood warnings. And that's in this very bright blue-green here, and you can see it through Kentucky and some of the spots that I'm talking about through this area. I know it's a little hard to see, but we're about to get another storm, and what's happening is 2 more systems behind the central part of location, or the central point of rotation, of this tropical system. Arthur is pulling 2 different tails up with it. I'll show you that on the satellite maps, and they're becoming dangerous. One because of tornadoes, and the other is because the rain needs to stop right now, and it's not going to do it because of the people getting flooded out. I saw a couple of videos in Texas yesterday that it almost looked like AI, guys, but it wasn't. One subdivision, brick homes through there, and it looked like it was a lake. As far as you could see in every direction, I think it was a drone image or something like that, but as far as you could see in every direction, the water was up a foot or 2 in the houses, and every street was covered. It looked like a city in the middle of an ocean there. So it's a lot of rain and a lot more coming. Another thing I want to point out about this, and we've talked about it, I said as soon as this blue gold or this moisture is out of here, things are going to change. Now look what we got right on the tail end of it. And this extreme heat, warnings and watches are what's causing the tornadoes along the Mississippi River right here, mixing with the storm coming up and this extreme heat. And again, what we're seeing in this crimson is extreme heat warnings right there. See that? And then you've got heat advisories here. And that's what we're dealing with right through this area. So there's extreme hot weather going to come in behind this tropical system. Same thing happened in Katrina, came through, knocked power out for 2 weeks, and it got incredibly hot. And we're about to see that happen right now. Northwestern Louisiana, you are already feeling the heat right now because we're under cloud cover. The rain just ended. It's about to start back up. We're at 74 and a heat index of 70. That's going to change, guys, pretty quick. We're counting our blessings as far as the temperature now. But I'm hoping the full power will come back on for a lot of folks because the air conditioning is going to become very important, probably by the end of today. And not everyone is fortunate enough to have a little bit of backup solar power. Let's look at the satellite images. So you guys have been through this overnight storms. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It was, it's about as hard as you can imagine hitting a metal roof. Anyway, here is more moisture, more than was in the initial system. Some of this is dissipated out, but still these are higher numbers and higher images as far as the amount of moisture. This is the storm that's now pulling pushing the tornadoes across the Mississippi-Alabama line. This would be somewhere around Waynesboro in that area of Wayne County, but it's going to be traveling, guys, as everything moves to the east. Mobile, the Florida Panhandle, southern Alabama, southern Georgia, and look at the angle here. Now, again, this was the torrential rain that most of us went through in central Mississippi and Mississippi last night, coming across the river. But now this one's more intense, and this one's more intense. The problem with it, and I'm not sure the conditions here, I'm sure it's pretty flooded, but right here in the central section of the state, we're just south of Jackson, Mississippi. You've got a little bit of clearing. You see that? And we had a gap this morning that was right there. You see it when it first starts. And when that stopped, we got a little bit of break. Now we're getting light sprinkles, but it's about to pick back up, and we have tornadoes here. Or we did earlier, we popped down, but I got a feeling with the heat rising, and guys, they're looking like in Dallas right now, heat index is coming up with that orange area that you saw to around 114 as far as real feel. Now that's going to be a quick change from the 70s. But again, the tornadoes are here. This one disappeared, dropped back out into the severe thunderstorm warnings, but we have not cleared those here. Again, I'm watching for these two systems to get worse throughout the day. It's 10:50 a.m. Central Time. By 1 o'clock this afternoon, full heat's going to be on these storms on the top from the sunlight. So we're going to have to watch it. Everybody, just look at the angles they're traveling. Through Georgia, going to hit into the Carolinas, Tennessee. You got the flooding and bad weather up into Kentucky. It's starting to pull out. Guys, see that? But you already have the water on the ground. More's coming. This doesn't look like much compared to this, but guys, there's a lot of moisture contained in these areas. And looking at the infrared, you can get a pretty good idea of it, guys. This is very dry air. It's going to get very warm again, Texas, and we're seeing that northwestern section of Louisiana start to get into the heat warnings already. And this, you've got the effect of the El Nino crossing the midsection of the nation, and much warmer, moist air coming off the Gulf of America itself. So it's just a combination of tropical weather moving in. It's not a hurricane, but as far as the rain amounts in some of these areas, it looks like one. But Tropical Storm Arthur's ashore. It's probably been downgraded back down by now. We'll look at the National Hurricane Center. And this was earlier this morning. This would have been 8:51 Central Time. And it's moved just a little further to the east. But what we're looking at, guys, is they're watching it stay strong enough as far as low pressure to move back out into the Atlantic. Right there, it says 10% chance now coming offshore the East Coast. Remnants of Arthur. Showers and thunderstorms associated with a trough of low pressure are located over the southeastern states. Environmental conditions appear marginally conducive for some subtropical or tropical development on Friday or Saturday. If it come out here, guys, over the Carolinas and very, very close to the Outer Banks, then what you start to see is probably this movement continue. I don't know if it's going to go up the East Coast yet or not, but we got a lot of movement from all the way from the West Coast across the nation moving out into the Atlantic. We'll have to see how this carries through, but it's showing kind of a curve in the cone. So you guys along the Northeast, keep an eye on this storm now. You're already getting some tornado warnings and watches in this area. Well, let's switch to the Navy model, and it shows that El Nino pattern carrying this out into the Atlantic a little further, maybe keeping it off the northeastern coast. See right there getting pulled up, but look what happens. High pressure merges in from this way and from the west coast, diving right over our area. Look at this. Anyway, be prepared for it. Again, we hope the power comes back on for the folks that are without it before this heat wave moves in on everyone. We didn't see a lot of high wind damage in this area, so I'm not sure what took down the power here. But with the flooding going on in low-lying areas and all, there's no telling. But the reports went in just about daylight, because that was pretty much the time that it went out on us here. So again, guys, I hope that gets restored, but watch the flooding. If you're not in a low-lying area, but you have friends or family that are, check on them, call them, text them, make sure they're okay. They may need a little help, because I know some of the houses that I saw in the video earlier that was sent to us by a friend from a mile away, you're going to have trouble getting in and out of those low-lying houses and areas. The road's covered in some sections, the little bridge is covered, and when it's coming through there, that thing's probably a couple of 100 feet wide right now. And this is a very small creek going down into a much larger, strong river before it's all said and done. But we're watching it, guys. You watch it. Just be very careful. Take a lot of caution if you're driving or traveling through any type of low-lying areas. These floods can come up quick, and we're not out of the woods. If we were out of the woods and it was clear behind us, it would be a totally different video. But it is not. We got tornadoes coming our way still, or tornado possibilities, and possibly more rain than we went through last night. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.